This is Outside the Cage with Ike Feldman, Pete Hoffman, and there are tons and tons of MMA promotions taking place this weekend. But one of the more exciting ones coming up is the Lights Out Xtreme Fighting, which is run by Shawne Merriman, and we are joined by Shawne right now. Welcome to the show, and thanks for the time. And tell us about this exciting promotion you have going on.
Yeah, man, so it's cool for us. Right out the gate, Lights Out Xtreme Fighting was a league formerly called California Extreme Fighting. A really big local promotion here in Los Angeles in Burbank. And I was going to the fights, man, for about a year and a half, almost two. And I just saw a built-in audience, going to the fights. I said, wow, I mean, I don't know why anyone don't know about this league. Turns out that a lot of the local fighters and also a lot of the fighters before they passed up through some of the other bigger leagues have been through this league, which was California Extreme Fighting, now Lights Out Xtreme Fighting. So, for me, man, it was a chance to, get even closer to combat sports, right? Because I think that, most people that have kind of followed my career over the last 13 to 15 years know that combat sports is my passion. I mean, I did it every year during the off season of my football career. It's kind of how I stayed in shape and got. Yeah,
Nice.
What happened was I was Jay Glazer's first football guy really to transition over to MMA.
So you're the one. You're the reason why he does all MMA now. There you go. You're the reason why.
No, I think I'm the reason why he gets credit for it. I don't know about why he's doing it, but no, so he was here in Los Angeles, and I got a chance to train early on with the Randy Couture's of the world, and it was around Chuck Liddell, and a bunch of these guys here. I mean, MMA was a hub for Southern California, so I was really fortunate when it came to that.
Dude, we just had somebody who trains out there, Extreme Couture, right?
Yeah. So I've trained at Randy's gym in Vegas as well. So first it was here in Los Angeles on La Brea, then he moved his gym, which I've trained at too, the one in Vegas.
Dude, how much knowledge did you get to pick up from being around Chuck and Randy? I mean, they're like pioneers of the sport, yet they're in their 40s. I mean, Chuck's approaching 50, but dude, like how much I'm sure you, out of all the people, have such a respect for combat sports people. So this is kind of weird, but I'm sure do you spread to your teammates at the time, or do you spread to now casuals that, hey, guys, they're not just like dumb idiots who are getting into cage and fighting. They're actually like introverts, people, smart, intelligent. How often do you pass the good word of mixed martial arts?
It's incredible, man. When you first get into it, right, and coming over from football, you see the athleticism. I'm not walking off the street with two left feet, right? So I can go in and I'm moving around and I can go with anybody athletically. But you go against one of these guys who are trained specialists in their craft, you see how far behind you are. So I just remember it between the 2005 and 2006 season. I came in and I was moving around fine. I grew up in PG County and, around the D.C. area where around a lot of boxers. There was a lot of boxers coming from my area in D.C. and Maryland. So I can jab, I can strike, but everything else just wasn't there. So every off season, I would just pick up.
You didn't have a haymaker?
Oh, I had a haymaker and a hook for sure. That's that's just street fighting. I mean, that's one of the ones you just get from just being in the the streets and having a fight there. But picking up on just the technical part of it. I remember my first time that I was kind of grappling with Randy, and I was trying to figure out how I had him by 50 pounds or so, and he would use his weight my weight against him or against myself. So, kind of just moving me where he wanted me to go. And so those are little things I picked up, and it helped my football career. I mean, from 2005 to 2006, I ended up leading the league in sacks in 2006. I just feel like MMA had a really big part in that, man, because I just found a whole new way to leverage my body and use my hands.
Being joined by Shawne Merriman, who had a fantastic NFL career, now is taking MMA world by storm, because you were supposed to be part of this bare knuckle fighting. Am I correct? Wasn't that something that you were planning on doing?
Oh yeah. I signed up to fight bare knuckle. I think about 6 months now or so, maybe a little more. And that promotion just ended up crumbling. And it's a shame, man, because I was in the 3-month training camp, a fight camp with Justin Fortune, who's one of Pacquiao's guys.
Right.
So I was there for almost 3 months, and the sparring sessions and stuff with those skilled heavyweights wasn't so pretty the first 6 or 7 times, but I was ready to go. And you just had some guys who was really, really shady and shysty in business, and they crumbled, and I ended up really suing them and going after them.
Well, good for you, because, again, that was a lot of people. I know Boss Room was involved, too, and he wasn't pleased with how things were going. But a lot of people were put out. I know people didn't get paid. I mean, Chris Lieben was part of that, too, if I'm correct. A lot of people got messed up on that. But what I want to know about you is, because that you're not going with the gloves. You're taking the gloves off. Joe Rogan has been a proponent, loving this bare knuckle. It'll cause less damage, blah, blah, blah. Yet I've seen some of these fights, and they are bloodier and nastier than ever. I mean, from your perspective, doing both, training for both, what do you see as the better of the two? Is it the no glove, or do you prefer the glove?
Well, let's put it this way. I've been in a lot of bare knuckle fights in my life for free, and I was just happy somebody was ready to pay me for one. It was like, that was the approach that I had with him, and then having more of a boxing background and not, really being skilled on the ground just yet. I've been in there with guys who were NCAA wrestlers, right? And, I'm bigger, stronger, and sometimes even faster than them. But, I had a problem, struggled when I got on the ground because they just been doing it for so long. So, doing bare knuckle was the easiest path for me to kind of break into the world of combat sports. I wasn't going to make it a career. This was more of a 2 or 3 fight deal. They were going to pay me extremely well, obviously, but more importantly, I wanted to, after all these years of talking about fighting, I was like, you know what? Not only am I going to fight, but I'm going to do the most brutalist things you can do, right? I'm going to take the gloves off and bare knuckle it up. So at that point, I was going to show that if I was going to continue to fight, it was going to be in MMA. But out the gate, coming out and getting those first jitters and being on the stage in this combat sport, for me, it was bare knuckle was the only way to go. So now being on this side with MMA, man, it's given me something that I've been wanting to do for the last 15 years of my life, and now I get a chance. Now that I'm retired from football, I get a chance to do it.
Awesome, man. Honestly, can't wait for it this Saturday. Lights Out Xtreme Fighting, LXF1. May 11th from the Burbank Marriott Events Center, North Hollywood. I hope those guys at the King's MMA, they don't show up and cause any ruckus, the Kelvin Gastelums of the world and the Rafael Corderos. But, dude, Shawne, I mean, I love it, man. I could feel, like, the enthusiasm and the passion for combat sports bleeding through your words, man. What do you think about the whole Greg Hardy experiment? Are you excited to see what's next? Do you believe he's going to be a real threat in the UFC heavyweight division?
I think he is. And this is what, people can feel whatever they want to personally about him. I think that's fine. He did, his own damage, and he got to live with it and overcome whatever he dealt with. But on the other side is, just keeping it in the cage. You have to really believe, right, that a professional athlete coming from football, being explosive, being able to take a 330 or 340-pound offensive lineman and manhandle him and pass rush and get around him and sometimes lock up with them, that strength, that brute strength is there. It's really about spending time and how much you care about learning the craft, right? Because if you put all that together with technique, even though it's not going to be perfect because, you got guys who've just been doing it longer, but you can overcome certain things by having the other side of it. And, when he got DQ'd and I was watching, I said, look, I think it was really an accident. I don't think he did that on purpose. I've been in a situation before where either I was tired, I was out of shape, and I mentally I just was in another place. And I did something that I probably could have got DQ for. That happened.
Did you see the John Jones fight with Anthony Smith, where he basically did something very similar? He's a professional. He's one of the best athletes, the best fighters in MMA, and he did nearly the same thing for a title. So you got to give Greg Hardy a little credit. Jeez.
Yeah, and you know what? He looked great in his last fight, right? I know he talked a little bit about wanting to fight me. And you know what? I would do it, but it would have to be in Lights Out. But I don't think that would ever happen with Dana over there.
Hey, you never know, man. They've been making trades. They've been doing some stuff. You never know, man.
Stay ready, man. Stay ready.
If something like that wouldn't happen and it worked out where the promotion was there for Lights Out, I would consider it in a second. That wouldn't even be let me get back to you. That would be a yes on the phone right away.
Let's go.
But
Dude, if they get Lights Out on the mat, the UFC canvas, are you still in that? Can we get the Merriman versus Hardy?
I would do it.
Yes!
If they found a way to co-promote something or do whatever, I would do it. I don't think it would happen. I think we're in a different place, and I don't know if that's their direction where they want to go. But I would definitely be up for it. But you know what? This is the thing. There's going to be tons of guys that are transitioning. I just signed, Chris McCain, former Chargers defensive end outside linebacker, played in the NFL for some years, a hell of an athlete. I just signed him the other day. He's planning on fighting on our July 6th card. So, there's going to be guys that's transitioning over from other sports. We're talking to 2 hockey players right now that's really interested in coming over to hockey. Coming over to combat sports.
They got a head start already being in hockey, man.
Oh, these guys can go. Look, and I want to tell, look, if guys from other sports want to come over and get after it, hit me up, man, because I'll put it together and I'll make sure that you get in it, you feel comfortable, you get the right training, and you get a chance to get after it.
Shawne, listen, honestly, this is such a great idea, and it's especially with the football, it seems more natural due to the fact that there's been a lot of teams lately training with, your boy like Jay Glazer, Randy Couture, and stuff like that. They've been training, they've been bringing those type of fighters in to work on different skill sets. So the MMA and NFL makes sense where you transition after your career's over in the NFL. But this is something that Lights Out Extreme Fighting is focusing on, the crossover, the bringing in the other athletes from other things. Why did you feel that was a necessity for you guys?
Well, for one, look, if I didn't play football, I 100% would have been in combat sports. I would have been a boxer or MMA or maybe even both, right? Those opportunities wasn't there early on because, for one, there was no money in the sport. For two, football is always and was and always going to be my first love. It's something that I've wanted to do since I was 6 years old. But fighting was number 2. It's always something that I love to do. And for me, a lot of guys' careers get cut short. Injury, maybe playing in the wrong scheme, maybe they got in trouble off the field and just didn't get that another opportunity. And we want to give guys a chance to compete, man. Come over. You still go at a high level. You still got it in you to get after it. And a lot of guys are looking to transition into something else. We just want to provide a platform that they can do it.
Dude, I'm sorry. I kind of dazed off there. I'm watching your training video on Twitter, man. You're no joke, man. You're ready to go. Do you still got the 6-pack?
Yeah, I'm out of 4-pack right now, man. The last 2 kind of creeped away. It creeped away from me over the last few months or so, just putting the league together and really running everything behind the scenes. And also, we're on Fox Sports Western and Prime Ticket out the gate on the 16th. So we made Fox a home for us, and look, we're just going to show what the next biggest promotion, man. It is what it is.
Honestly, man, seriously, like having like a fit guy who's at the forefront of a league. Nothing against Scott Coker. They say he does martial arts, but I don't think he's throwing a high kick anytime soon, unless Dana White's on the same like TRT that John Jones is on. I don't think he's doing any martial arts. Dude, a former NFL freaking Pro Bowler, like an amazing sack season, dude, and seeing you in shape, growing up in the Washington area with boxing in your background, I think fighters are going to attract to this. I just seen recently Royce White, former Houston Rocket, he's making the transition to MMA. I think
I reached out to Royce already. I've been talking to Royce.
Wow.
Dude, bring him on. Let's go.
That's, I think he just signed to go to the Big 3, but, obviously he's a talented guy, and more importantly, even more than him fighting, he has a hell of a story. And I told him, the reason why I reached out to him, not even because of the fighting, I saw some of the things he was talking about with depression and anxiety and stuff like that, and I thought that was really cool. And then I ended up learning that he was training to fight, and I said, oh, crap. We really got to talk now. So whenever he's done with the Big 3 or he wants to talk, man, I'll be here.
Awesome, man. Honestly, I think a lot of people, not just fighters, but athletes from other niches are going to attract you, man. You're well-spoken, like you're freaking athletic, and you're a great businessman. Wish you success with, again, the Lights Out Extreme Fighting. This Saturday, May 11th, Burbank Marriott Events Center. Dude, What fighter, when you sit down on a Saturday night, are you looking for like that you'll just rearrange your entire schedule? Is it a Conor? Is it a John Jones? What type of fighter do you attract to? Does it have to be hands? Have you learned the wrestling game? You said that when you jumped in with these guys on the ground, you're kind of lost. What fighter do you attract to? Is it the Khabibs? Is it the Conors? What gets you going?
Yeah, obviously I love Conor because he's great for the sport. I know a lot of
He
people
changed the sport. It's on ESPN because of him. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? I mean, a lot of people, maybe some of the fighters have a gripe or a problem with him, but he is entertainment, right? And guys like that open the doors for other guys. And as long as you understand that's how things work, then you can be okay. But yeah, Khabib, I love Khabib, man. He's a hell of a fighter. Obviously, John Jones, if he can stay in the cage, right?
Right. Yeah.
If he can stay in the cage with nothing else, man, to me, he's the best MMA fighter of all time. If you look at how he's stacked up against anyone else, but there's tons of guys, man. Ferguson just he's back now, right? I mean, he's back
he is. He is
crazy motherfucker.
So yeah, man. Hopefully, he's another guy that you hope that he stays with it and stays on the right path. So. We got some up-and-coming guys, man, that are going to get after it. We got, 3 titles on the line this Saturday, and they're going to throw down. I'll tell you right now, they're going to throw down. They're on TV for the first time, and these guys are sending me DMs and messages like, Shawne, watch what's going to happen. I said, okay, all right, let's go.
Where's that bonus money? We want that bonus money.
Exactly.
Shawne, one question I do have is because, there's the PFL is the tournament style now. And actually over the weekend, I was just talking about the Invicta FC. It's all female, but they had their own little tournament in a one-day tournament. What type of things are you guys playing in Lights Out Extreme Fighting? Like, do you have other things besides the crossover between former athletes into mixed martial arts? Is there anything else you guys have up your sleeve?
Yeah, one thing we really concentrated on early on is the fan experience, right? Getting the fans involved even more. Having, coming from the NFL and having a background and knowing the reason why the game has grown so much is because of fantasy football, because of the fan experience and them being able to be involved so much. That was outside of having athletes transition from other sports. We were looking for ways to get the fans involved as much as possible. We don't want to be like anybody else. I've been to a couple PFL fights. I think they throw a good show, no doubt about it. George Greenberg and the guys over there, I know very well. I think they're doing some great things. Obviously, them going over to ESPN Plus is only going to help. And I just think that we're going to be so different in what we're doing. And this is my home, and I played here for most of my career. This is, Southern California is my home, and we're going to crush it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Seriously, it's like fantastic career. I can't wait to see what you do as a businessman. It's growing, man. Shawne, my last question. Again, thanks for the time, man. You hinted on it with Royce White with the mental issues, and I kind of joked about it with Tony, but it is a serious thing that he's going through. I appreciate people like Max Holloway being a forefront about mental health because, us as men, maybe we compartmentalize a little too much, and maybe it's a huge issue. I have an Israeli father. This dude won't talk about anything. He's just like, get the hell out of my room. But, dude, to hear Tyson Fury on the Joe Rogan podcast talk about mental health and his biggest enemy was himself and dealing with those demons, did you have to face any during your football career, or have you had any young linebacker or lineman or fighter that's come up to you and be like, dude, shit's not going right in my career, and have you given advice to them?
Well, let me go back to first of all, shout out to those guys that talking mental health and really opening up, because that doesn't make you soft. That doesn't make you a weaker person. That just, what it's really doing is making it okay for other people to get help, right? Because you talk to somebody and say, oh man, if this guy is having problems, I'm having problems, if he's able to talk about it, maybe I should go see somebody. I've always been okay because I just work my ass off. I just stay busy. And I kind of wake up with this motivation and chip on my shoulder. Even though every day doesn't go great for me, I just find ways to win, just beat that single day that I'm in. I have helped out, former teenagers and players I played with and against that was struggling really from the transition from football. And my struggle was that I had my career cut short, and I just always had like this thing on my shoulder, like I had more to give, but the injuries are caught up to me, and I had to feel like I was okay with it. I had to tell myself and get over the fact that, look, man, you did have a good career when you were healthy. I know it didn't go as well, and then move on. That was my struggle for me. But as far as mental health, man, I've always been a really strong person. I've been through a lot in my life growing up. PG County, man, Maryland, we didn't have much, and my struggles came from, when I was a kid and how I got here. So it was a little bit different from my background and made me a lot stronger.
He is Shawne Lights Out Merriman. Again, check out Lights Out Xtreme Fighting this Saturday, May 11th, Burbank Marriott Events Center. Tickets still available at MMA Tix, TIXX.com. Shawne, you're amazing. Looking forward to big things with your promotion and you making your way to the East Coast, my friend.
Thanks, my man. I appreciate it.